Happy Friday, everybody. Max here with your daily fix of gaming news. Coming up, it seems unlikely we'll see an upgraded Xbox to compete with the PS5 Pro, but something we might see is an open-world StarCraft shooter. Plus, I'll tell World of Warcraft players how they can get Obsidian's upcoming RPG Avowed without spending any real-world money. Sort of. Let's get into it. It's been a bit over a week since the release of Sony's upgraded PlayStation 5 Pro, and the general consensus is that while it's now the most powerful console on the market, it is not a must-have, especially at a $700 price point. The rumors and leaks have suggested that Xbox would follow suit with the mid-gen Xbox Series upgrade. A recent interview with Microsoft Gaming CEO Phil Spencer suggests otherwise. Speaking to Rolling Stone, Spencer said, quote, "We think about hardware that can create unique value for our players or creators on our platform. We don't need to do incremental hardware for our own benefit. Does a new device really give you a unique experience on screen in some way? It's less like the old days, going from the original Xbox to 360. That was standard definition to high definition. Now, it's harder to show the benefits." The last mid-gen refresh, the PS4 Pro and Xbox One X, saw resolutions jumping from 1080p to 4K with the added bonus of HDR support. Meanwhile, the PS5 Pro offers improved fidelity and performance, but the upgrades are exactly that, incremental. It can't even boast about 8K support because the launch PS5 already did that. The problem there is that barely anyone owns an 8K TV, and for those that do, there's not really that much content that even takes advantage of it. So what are you gonna play in 8K, right? Spencer went on to explain Xbox's focus these days, saying, quote, "To reach new players, we need to be creative and adaptive of new business models, new devices, new ways of access. We're not going to grow the market with $1,000 consoles." Sure enough, the current ad campaign, which has already been memed to high hell, features the caption, "This is an Xbox," over devices that are clearly not Xboxes, but which can be used to play Xbox games, either natively or via xCloud streaming, like laptops, smartphones, and VR headsets. Keep in mind, companies don't usually make big announcements for things that they are not selling, so it's always possible Xbox changes course, but it definitely seems unlikely right now. However, an Xbox handheld, as we reported earlier this week, is currently in development, though apparently it's still years away. Hoping we see that sooner than later. Elsewhere under the Xbox umbrella, a Blizzard job listing indicates that an open-world shooter is in the works, and based on previous rumors, it could very well be set in the StarCraft universe. The job listing posted 2 days ago is pretty point blank about what kind of game they're making. Quote, "As the design director of innovation, you will be the vision holder and owner of key strategic innovations on an upcoming open world shooter game." So why do we think it's StarCraft? Well, back in September, Bloomberg reporter Jason Schreier revealed that there was a StarCraft shooter in the works. Schreier's recent book, Play Nice: The Rise, Fall, and Future of Blizzard Entertainment, delves into many of the studio's projects, past and present, and last he heard, Ubisoft veteran Dan Hay was allegedly overseeing a StarCraft game. Hay previously acted as executive producer on the Far Cry series and was involved with it from Far Cry 3 all the way up through Far Cry 5, which, despite the numbers, is actually a lot more games than it sounds like. It's been more than 20 years since Blizzard first announced a StarCraft shooter, StarCraft Ghost, which lived up to its namesake by being officially dead at one point, but then still haunting the halls of Blizzard on several occasions in various forms while never fully materializing. So who knows, maybe it'll be reincarnated this time around as something Far Cry shaped, and maybe it'll actually see the light of day. Now, the big question is, which sounds better, StarCry or Farcraft? Let me know in the comments below, and whatever we call it, they're gonna call it something else. Xbox's next big fantasy RPG is Avowed, which is slated for release on Xbox and PC on February 18th. It was recently announced that in addition to being available through Steam and the Xbox app for Windows, it would be coming to Battle.net, which means that anyone with tons of World of Warcraft gold lying around can exchange that for WoW tokens from the in-game auction house, which can then be exchanged for a copy of Avowed. Bear in mind how much WoW tokens go for tends to fluctuate. They are currently selling for 262,365 gold as of this reporting, which means that if you want to grab the standard version of Avowed, which retails for $69.99 US, it'll take 5 tokens, which will require 1.3 million gold. Meanwhile, there's also the premium edition of Avowed, which costs $89.99 USD in the real world, and figuring out how much WoW gold that'll cost you requires me to do more math, and I'm not going to do that unless you give me 20 bucks American because it's Friday and I'm tired. Another probably much simpler alternative is for WoW players to just use the money that they would be spending on a few months of their WoW subscription and put that towards Game Pass instead, where Avowed is going to be playable day one, which is February 18th, unless you pay the extra 20 bucks for the premium version, which lets you play it 5 days earlier. Remember when you used to get video games by buying them at the store, and then you owned them, and then you'd play them? simpler times. That is your fix for Friday, November 15th, 2024. If you missed those simpler times earlier this week, I got some time with the upcoming throwback beat 'em up, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Rita's Rewind, and my video preview just went up, so go check that out. And as always, for everything gaming, you are in the right place, IGN. Have a great weekend, everybody. We'll see you next time.